Welcome to today's Explainer. We're doing something really special today. We are stepping way back in time to around 300 BCE to explore the ancient Sangam civilization of South India. We're going to uncover how these incredible people lived in just absolute beautiful harmony with nature. Because to them, the environment wasn't just, dirt and wood, it was the literal essence of their emotional and social lives.
Just listen to this quote. For the Sangam people, nature was not a backdrop to life. It was life itself. Think about how we experience nature today. For a lot of us, it's just kind of a background to our cities, right? But for the ancient Tamil people, nature was the main character. Human emotions, daily jobs, and the natural world were so deeply intertwined that you literally couldn't separate a person's feelings from the landscape around them. To really wrap our heads around this connection, we have to talk about the Ainthinai. This was a brilliant, almost poetic framework that literally mapped geography directly onto the human soul. The Sangam poets divided their known world into 5 distinct landscapes, or thinai, linking every single ecological zone to a specific human emotion, a daily struggle, and completely unique symbolic trees and flowers.
And the amazing thing is, we know all of this thanks to some breathtaking ancient palm leaf manuscripts. Works like the Edutogai, the Patupatu, and the poet Kepler's Kurinjipatu aren't just stories. They function as highly detailed botanical catalogs. I mean, Kepler alone famously listed 99 different types of flowers in a single poem. They were meticulously recording exactly where trees grew and what they actually meant to the human experience.
So their entire society was shaped by these 5 distinct ecological zones. We have Kurinji, the mountains; Malai, the forests; Maratham, the farmlands; Nathal, the coast; and Palai, the arid lands. The Sangam people organized their entire understanding of the world, their poetry, their culture, their identity, around these 5 pillars of nature.
Section 1. Kurinji and Malai, the mountains and the forests.
First up, we have Kurinji, the mountainous regions. Imagine a rugged, cool environment defined by the majestic Vengai and Akal trees, and of course, the famous Kurinji flower. Now get this, that flower remarkably only blooms once every 12 years. In Sangam poetry, this high-altitude landscape was the ultimate symbol of intense, passionate love. The rugged, tough life of the mountain communities was perfectly mirrored by these strong trees and those rare, beautiful blooms. As we move slightly down in elevation, we enter the Mulai, the pastoral forests. Here, villagers and hunters lived directly among incredibly fragrant Mulai jasmine, the bright golden konrai, and the kaya trees. Emotionally, the Mulai landscape represented patient waiting. It's like a lover waiting in the forest, smelling the sweet jasmine in the evening breeze, just hoping for their partner to safely return. Section 2. Marutham and Nathal, farmlands and coasts. Now we flow down into the Marutham, the fertile farmlands and river plains. This was really the economic engine of ancient Tamilakam. Down here, the mighty Marutham tree and the Kanchi stood as literal and figurative pillars of their agrarian society. Because life here was much more settled and prosperous, the poetry of Marutham dealt with domestic life and family dynamics, all playing out right under the vast, sheltering canopy of the Marutham tree. Continuing to the very edge of the land, we hit the Nathal, the coast. This is the domain of crashing waves and salt in the air. The key flora here are the coastal Pannai, the Thazai, and the Kandal. What's absolutely fascinating is that Nathal fishermen didn't just use this wood to build their boats. They viewed the beautiful Pannai tree as inseparable from their own coastal identity. In their poetry, the coast is often a place of grief and waiting, and the Pannai tree stood on the shoreline as a steadfast witness to their hopes. Section 3. Palai, the arid lands. Finally, we transition into a harsher, far more unforgiving, yet equally poetic environment, the Palai. Interestingly enough, in Sangam literature, Palai isn't actually a permanent landscape. It's what happens to the mountains or forests during the scorching summer heat when everything dries up. Out here, life is incredibly tough. The flora, like the Palai tree, the Omai, and the Irapai, are incredibly resilient. They survive against all odds. And because of that, these trees became the perfect living metaphors for human endurance. The Palai landscape represented dangerous journeys, heroic battles, and the painful separation of lovers. The twisted, gnarled branches of the Omai tree perfectly reflected the struggles of the human spirit in difficult times.
So think about the contrast here. Today, we too often look at a tree and just see a physical resource, right? Timber, paper, or maybe just some shade. It's a very transactional relationship. But the Sangam view was entirely different. When a Sangam person looked at a Vengai, or a Punai tree, they saw their community's history, their daily labor, and a mirror of their own soul. They saw every single root and branch as a direct extension of themselves. The trees of Sangam Tamilakam were the roots of memory, identity, poetry, and civilization. This unique perspective is such a profound lesson for us today. It reminds us that to the ancient Tamils, preserving their environment literally meant preserving their history, their art, and their collective soul. If the trees died, their poetry died. They were one and the same. As we wrap up this explainer and reflect on this truly breathtaking ancient worldview, I want to leave you with a final thought. How do the landscapes around us shape who we are today? What are the trees in your own life that hold your memories and your identity? Keep that in mind on your next walk through nature. Thank you so much for joining me, and keep exploring.